I'm delighted to be here. And Ibrahim Dogos, where are you sitting, Ibrahim? Great speech. Thank you very much. It's a real privilege to be here. I think a huge round of applause for everything that you do. And I've been privileged to get to know many members of the community. Apart from Ibrahim Onda Sahan, I believe the food is thanks to him and his daughter Gizem. And I've witnessed the entrepreneurial spirit of this community. It is outstanding. However, I go back a third of a century to the 1980s when I came over from India as a 19-year-old for my higher education here in Britain. And entrepreneurship then was something that was looked down upon. It was frowned upon. Del boy, second-hand car salesman. And now look at where we are today. And in fact, if you look at the early 80s, this country was known as the sick man of Europe. It had no respect in the world economy. Today, look where we are. And if you go back to the early 80s, my family and my friends in India said, if you decide to work after your studies in Britain, just remember, you'll never get to the top, because as a foreigner, you will not be allowed to get to the top. And I'm ashamed to say that 3 decades ago, they were absolutely right. There was a glass ceiling. Today, I'm delighted to say that that glass ceiling has been well and truly shattered in this country. Today, look at Britain, where earlier this month, in the Great British Bake Off, the winner was a 30-year-old mother, Nadia Hussain, of Bangladeshi origin, brought up without even an oven in her house. Today, she won that competition. As a scientist, the pinnacle of your achievement as a scientist is if you are admitted as a Fellow of the Royal Society, founded in 1660 by King Charles II. Well, later this year, at the end of this year, the next president of the Royal Society is Sir Venki Ramakrishnan, an Indian from Trinity College, Cambridge, and a Nobel Prize winner. When would that have happened before? Today, in Parliament, we have Keith Vaz with us over here. When I was a student at Cambridge University, I got the news that Keith Vaz had become an MP, and he was the first of the ethnic minority MPs ever since 1947 to become members of Parliament. He was one of 4, and there was 1 member of the House of Lords. Keith has written a book about this. In 2012, we had the celebration of 25 years of him being in Parliament, and there were 69 ethnic minority members of Parliament standing on those steps. So I congratulate the Center for Turkey Studies, CEFTUS, building bridges between Turkey and the UK. The Turkish community, the Kurdish community, the Turkish Cypriot community are absolutely amazing. The fact that I'm one of those 2 million people from Britain every year who go to Turkey. I'm proud to have been there many, many times, and I love the country. And my city of birth in India is a city called Hyderabad. And the ruler of Hyderabad used to be called the Nizam of Hyderabad. He was the wealthiest man in the world. In today's terms, he would be 5 times wealthier than Bill Gates. And the Nizams of Hyderabad always married Turkish princesses. Princess Durusheva, Princess Ezra today. And your community, 350, 400,000 strong over here, succeeding in so many areas, not least in the catering industry, where there are 15,000 outlets around the country. My business, Cobra Beer, we supply 98.6% of the Indian restaurants. There are nowhere near 15,000 Indian restaurants in this country, and curry restaurants. And Samson Sahel, our director, is over here. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary at Cobra Beer this year. And we were about to hold a big celebration. And we did some surveys with the consumers. And they said, what? 25th anniversary? We thought Cobra Bay is 125 years old, so we're not celebrating it in a big way. But this is your 4th anniversary of CEFTUS, of your community awards. The thing I want to say first and foremost is to congratulate the winners. But you know, it feels good to win awards, but the most important thing about winning awards is when you win an award, you create inspiration for others. That creates aspiration. That aspiration leads to achievement. That achievement leads to inspiration, which leads to aspiration. And it's a virtuous circle. So congratulations to you all. And on that note, I conclude by saying that this country, Britain, is an aspirational country. This is a country where you can get to the top regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of background. And my friend Amartya Sen, the Nobel Prize winner, has written about identity. And he says that we don't have one identity as individuals. We have multiple identities. In my case, I'm a Zoroastrian Parsi, I'm Indian, I'm Asian, and I'm very proud to be British. In the same way, every one of us in this room, whether we're Turkish, Kurdish, Turkish Cypriot, we are British as well, and we owe a lot to this wonderful country for the opportunities it's given us. So let us work together as communities in this wonderful country. The Vice-Chancellor of Cambridge this year, in his opening address to the academic year, said, why is this one university won more Nobel Prizes than any other? 91 Nobel Prizes. And he said it's because of partnerships and working together. And he said this African saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Let us go far together. Thank you.